Can you say, if we frame this up as like a lot of your suffering earlier in your life was the byproduct of experiential avoidance, so the way that you were avoiding both your internal experience and your external experience, can you tell how therapy has helped you turn towards your experience, whether that's internal or external?
Um, I'm not exactly sure how to respond to this question. And I hope I'm going in the right direction here. It was a lot of perspective taking, I thought, for me on my end, in just a way in terms of how I should be, you know, dealing with my issues. Like, how should I change my perspective on how I see it? And, just embrace the things that had already happened. And, just how would, what would you do moving forward instead of like always looking towards the past and just like relishing in that instead. That because that just created a lot of avoidance for me, and just staying quiet like created a lot of avoidance for me. I felt, it was,
So you
uh,
learn to accept what has already happened. You learn to accept your past mistakes rather than ruminating or beating yourself up. And then that gave you more energy to look forward.
no, absolutely. It was a lot of, yeah, I did a lot of self beating up. Maybe like a lot of my inner thoughts was just about how I was not good at anything, how I was never going to be successful, or how I was, never going to really have anything fulfilling in life. And also at the same time, I felt like I was told never to complain, never to, you never to show your concerns or like your feelings, just like keep it to yourself and learn how to deal with it emotionally, or I mean, just individually. No, personally. So it's, it, the more that I started to accept, like, one thing from therapy was I still needed to. I feel like I needed a lot of reassurance, but at the same time, I was seeking a lot of reassurance. But at the same time, I needed to learn how to also not worry about being a burden complex in a sense,
Hmm.
uh,
So you
because that also created a lot of avoidance.
so you needed to learn when to reach out for help and that you deserved that help when you needed it, but then also when you were seeking reassurance just because you felt anxious, when you needed to kind of give yourself that um, um, not you couldn't give yourself that sense of uncertainty. I guess you have to, rather than getting reassurance, learn to tolerate uncertainty.
Right. How to tolerate uncertainty, and also just like having these support groups as, just perceived self efficacy, as you can probably say.
Hmm.
Just like how I would perceive, just myself, even though whatever is going to be happening in the future, we still don't know yet. So that's also one thing that I felt like I had to really learn was not to, not to think too much of the end result and the consequences too much or overthink it. I mean, as much as it is an important factor, it's probably one of the main reasons of why in general I had been avoiding, just a lot of opportunities, or a lot of, just opportunities for growth, personal growth, professional growth, just a lot of those things. So